the original building. It is, however, the original site, and today still stands as the Hive Factory. The original building was 100 feet square and had 4 small offices and toilets. Access to the factory was down an entrance called the Chase, a term that is still used today. In 1914 the first extension to the main building took place, which gave it a good sized store area, and the first all-geared head lathes were produced. During the 1914-18 war, an additional machine was introduced especially for the ministry, which had a fast and loose pulley drive to produce shell noses. The most popular model at this time was the 8-inch Mascot with 3 variations of drive. In 1918 the 47-hour week was instituted, and by 1919 the company's workforce had increased to 90 with 80 staff. Timekeeping was very strict at this time, and anyone who was late arriving was locked out, and permission was needed from the foreman in order that they may commence work. In 1921 it was decided to design a small but cheap lathe, suitable for small workshops, etc. It was then that this lathe was first produced and was known as the 5-inch Bantam, and sold for £28. Also in 1921 the first demonstration vans were commissioned. This was a second-hand Chevrolet which contained one of the new Bantam lathes. The van visited many sales merchants throughout the country and was a huge success, the vehicle shown being a later vehicle. Increase in production was of course the main concern, therefore very little thought was given to the welfare of the employees. The inadequate heating by the tortoise stoves, however, still provided a means for illegally baked chestnuts or potatoes. However, eating or smoking during working hours was prohibited, and disobeying of any of the rules or insubordination carried a punishment of being sent home for a day or a week, which of course meant the loss of wages. In early 1923 the first Triumph lathe was introduced. It soon became a popular machine and helped increase the total number of employees to 100. When war broke out in 1939, the company employed female labour to cover the loss of men who were called up for national service. In 1946 Mr. Hayward was appointed works manager. Also a bonus scheme was introduced to help increase productivity, and the yearly total of lathes produced considerably increased, and new markets were found, the first of which was in America. To assist with expansion, Mr. P.A. Long joined the company in 1948 as assistant works manager. It was, however, in 1949 that the company sustained 2 very personal losses. Firstly, the death of Mr. John Cohen, who for 4 decades had been the controlling interest within the company, and secondly, the death of Mr. Robert Blair, who had served the company as works manager for over 30 years. Just before Mr. Cohen's death, the company became a limited company, but only relatives held the shares. However, in his will he remembered all his employees, each receiving a certain amount of shares according to their years of service. Building expansion was now taking place with great urgency. Due to increased demand, this was due in no small degree to the enterprise and ability of Mr. Hayward, who not only controlled the company but also travelled approximately 100,000 miles a year, so maintaining personal contact with his customers. In 1953, the company records were destroyed during the floods when the company was under 4 foot of water. In 1954, the company became a member of the George Cohen 600 group. In 1956, the 5-inch Chipmaster lathe was first exhibited at the 1956 Machine Tool Exhibition. The Duke of Edinburgh showed a keen interest in the machine when he visited the show. Also on display at that time was the company's 6-inch student lathe, along with its Clausing version for America. The highly successful Triumph lathe, together with a cutaway headstock displaying the spindle and internal gears. And of course the top of the range 8-inch Mascot lathe. All of these had many variations to meet the customer's exacting requirements. In 1958-59, the lathe build was increasing to almost 40 machines a week, and new departments were set up and reorganised, such as publicity, sales, spares, shipping, etc. Also, more demonstration coaches and vans were on the roads around the UK and the continent. Lord Snowdon was amongst those who visited the coaches, which carried several models. During this time, many schools, colleges and training establishments had Colchester lathes installed for their apprentice training. Some of them shown here are the Felsted School, the Apprentice Training School at Harold Hill, the Royal Military College of Engineering, Chatham, HMS Caledonia, Rosyth, Fife, in Scotland, and the School of Electrical and Mechanical Engineering. In these shots of the Kenyon B Polytechnic School of Nairobi, students are being given instruction into the use of the 6-inch student lathe. In 1962, the Elmstead Road factory was built at a cost of £500,000. An outstanding feature of the 65,000 square foot factory was the provision of a hydrostatic flow line system for assembling lathes. Was the first of its type in the country. The factory was officially opened in June 1953 by Mr. Edward Ducan, the then Minister of State for the Board of Trade. With the flow line system in operation, the build increased dramatically to 100 lathes a week and could produce over 200 lathes a week if required. In 1964, Mr. Hayward left the company and Mr. Long was appointed managing director, and in September of 1966 the training centre was opened with a fully equipped workshop for the training of all its new apprentices. In 1967 the company received the Queen's Award to Industry for overseas trade and technological achievement, whereby lathes were assembled on a flow line basis, and also the new designs and specifications incorporated into the Mascot 1600 lathe. In April 1963 another new factory was opened. This was named the Headstock Factory and incorporated a purpose-built area for the assembly of headstocks as well as a general machining area. Also, some of the latest inspection equipment was in use for measuring the accuracy of the gears and the shafts as they were completed. In the same year, the company received another Queen's Award to Industry, and Mr. L. Webster joined the company as a director and general manager. The expansion of the company steadily continued, leading up to the financial year of April 1970 to April 1971, during which the company produced in excess of 200 machines a week. The reward for this came in the form of yet another Queen's Award to Industry, this time for export achievement, which was presented to the company in 1971. Mr. P. A. Long was promoted to Managing Director of the Machine Tool Division, and Mr. L. Webster was promoted to Managing Director of the Colchester Lathe Company. In 1975 the company received another Queen's Award to Industry, again for export achievement, making a total of 4, which at this time made the company the largest holder of Queen's Awards in the machine tool industry. In February 1977, Mr. L. Webster was transferred to the Overseas Division of the 600 Group, and Mr. C. I. Mitchell, who was Works Director, was made Director in Charge until September 1977, when Mr. R. K. Evans joined the company as Managing Director. In the late 1970s and early 1980s, the company introduced to its Hythe and Elmstead Road factories the latest CNC machining centres to improve the company's performance. It was now becoming a very competitive market, and the company felt that it had some of the finest machines available to the world markets, and had a range of models to cover all of its customers' requirements, from the very small Bantam to the recently introduced Magnum range of lathes. To further its position in the world markets, the company was able to adopt its machines to accept the Fanuc Control system, so ensuring a highly efficient but competitively priced range of CNC lathes onto the world markets. The Fanuc software is one of the most efficient of its kind and can display the program that is in use, as well as showing the machining cuts that are being made simply by watching the small monitor on the lathe. The company's 650 range of CNC lathes are designed for use with robots. Once the 12-position tool turret has been loaded and its program entered into the computer, the operator need only load the pallet conveyor and the machine will work continuously on its own. The company has installed its own flexible manufacturing system, which comprises of a mixed range of CNC and conventional machine tools, which completely machine a wide range of turned components. Robots are used for automatic loading of all machines, which are linked by a palletized conveyor system, the whole operation being fully integrated into a flexible transfer line under direct computer control.